Hey AfterBuzzers, welcome to an all-new Younger After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. Tonight we're going to be breaking down Season 4, Episode 2, titled Gettin Hygge With It. I think that's what they said. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Thank you again for tuning into our Younger After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Sam Davidson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. We're missing Renee this week. We love her. She will be back, but I am here to fill her shoes in the meantime, and I have my two beautiful ladies to the left of me.
Hello guys, I'm Ally Nasta. You can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at AllieGirl.
Hi, Rhelin T, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Rhelin Taylor.
And of course, guys, don't forget to follow AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV and all social media platforms. Hashtag ABTV Younger to continue the conversation, or just tweet at us. We love hearing from you and your comments, your theories, so please, please keep them coming. What did we think of this episode, generally?
I don't know. Lots of drama because of, there's so many, well, not so many, but seeing Kelsey and Josh really together this episode made me cringe so much. I don't know.
I secretly am in love with it.
You like it?
I love it. They both don't like it. They were like, no, I don't. But I find it really fun. And I feel as if it's supposed to be. I think they fit better together.
I do too, and I wanted to like it. I wanted to like them, but this episode for me felt really forced between them. The Southern stuff really bothered me because they're both really clearly not from the South. Hence our opening song, which is what they, you know, got jiggy to. But let's start off with one of the smaller storylines, which every season we get some Maggie. And she has some love affair with typically a young girl. Last season we got a little bit of an older woman. But we're back to her just attracting these beautiful young women everywhere. What did you guys think about this Montana character?
I was expecting her at first to not. I was thinking she wasn't actually falling for her. I felt there was a little bit of attraction, but I was thinking there was going to be some that was going to cut it off really quick, which we did see. But I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely thought that, you know, Maggie, I feel like, always gets the girl.
Right.
So I thought she was going to get her. But, you know, it's good that she still, you know, got over it and was like, hey, you can still help me out.
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
didn't get hurt over it. So
totally.
I like that part.
I was really glad, too, because at first I was thinking, oh, that's so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like,
right?
when you think someone's into you and they're not, and then you have to somehow make it all better because, like, your first initial reaction would be like, okay, go. Please leave. You know what I mean? And so the fact that she was able to be like, okay, I'll put that aside. I'm sorry. You can still help me out. I thought that was really obviously mature, which Maggie is, but definitely she handled that so fluidly.
Well, not the end of the story, I'm assuming.
Right.
I'm just going to be real. Maggie's ways aren't working, which is a turn on for her, I think, at the end of the day. So
You're right.
Just want to make sure we bring that up because we're going to be following it.
She does like a challenge, doesn't she?
Yeah,
She does.
Good old Maggie.
Speaking of a challenge, let's talk a little bit about Charles and Liza, that back situation.
That made me so unbelievably uncomfortable because I'm thinking, obviously this isn't real, but I'm saying if that were a real life situation and that was your boss and you were in the office, my mind was thinking, what if someone walks in on you guys? Obviously they were doing nothing harmful, but to them it means more than just a back rub. You know, so in my head I'm thinking this is so inappropriate, they're gonna get caught. Luckily they didn't, but it was just something that it was bothering me.
I always hate when Liza tries so hard to cover up the fact that she's older. Like when he asks, how do you know how to do these muscle ups? I'm like, my friend, and she's an older husband, and we party. I was like, oh my God, Liza.
I mean, I'm going to be real, you guys. If she's to tell, we're to have told one person at the beginning. At this point, though, it would be Charles. I think Charles would be the one that would understand and that would want to understand because he even said, so, is it normal for your friends to be dating 40-year-olds?
Yeah.
They talked about that, and he's just fishing for things to make this okay, and if he's given it on a platter, sure, he'll be upset at first, but it's not like Kelsey.
Yeah. I feel like because though with Charles, because she always tries to make a point to stress how young she is, I don't know how creepy he's going to feel once she tells him the truth.
I think he's going to feel really almost used in a way. You know? I don't know. I think I can't find him cutting her off easy, like letting this go easy.
It's like we said Never Been Kissed last week when Michael Vartan got upset at first and then he made it.
That's true. That's true.
You know, at the end of the game, he
likes her so much and they have such genuine chemistry.
I think you are right, because at the end of the day, I think he'll just have to rationalize everything that goes into what Liza is, and then it would make a great segue for them to actually date, because at the end of the day, his kids love her. You know, he has this weird, like, he can't let it go. You know, we haven't really seen him besides, what was the character that we didn't like?
Oh, last year, the woman that he
Rada?
dated.
Rada.
Yeah.
Wow,
besides
I'm proud of you guys for remembering her name.
Well, besides that, we haven't really seen him fall for anybody else, so I don't think we're going to see this go away. I don't think he's going to bring anybody else in the storyline. So it's only going to come to a head at some point.
A head. Sorry, guys, it's Younger. The sexual innuendos are all over the place. And when they were on the ground and she was fixing his back, all I kept on thinking was, God, it looks like if someone came in to look, she was kind of giving him a weird blowjob.
You know what?
Oh my gosh.
It actually
I didn't even think about that, but like, I just knew if someone were to walk in, that would not look good in any shape or form.
Well, imagine if Diana would have walked in.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's talk about Diana a little bit. So we have a JCPenney outing with the two of them. And I wanted to ask you guys this question.
Yeah.
Where is Charles's assistant? He owns the company. He should be the one with a crazy assistant that's by his side at all times, but he doesn't have one.
That's actually a really great point.
A really great
I didn't
question.
even think about that.
Yeah.
Didn't either. And I mean, Diana, if there's only going to be one person that has an assistant between Charles and Diana,
It should be Charles.
it should for sure be Charles.
I guess Charles doesn't do as much work as Diana, so maybe.
Or he's just so awesome and self-sufficient.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking if he owns this company, he clearly has a bunch of, like, all those dinners and meetings are not being set up by him, right?
Yeah.
But then again, it could be that because he's not the one doing the finding and the go-getting, that maybe he does just manage his own.
Oh, but you know, we all know that the people that head companies, they need assistants no matter how self-sufficient they are.
True.
I love how in the outing, though, the JCPenney outing with Liza and Diana, she tells her honesty is how we grow. So I'm kind of trying to foreshadow, like, what is her next step in being honest? Is she going to tell somebody else, or I'm not too sure.
Well, we said last week, right, that we think her next target is Diana.
Yeah, and
her truth target.
That was
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like it because of the also what Richard said to Liza, which is that she has so much faith in you. So.
Well, that to me made it like
that foreshadows like a friendship with like a really closer friendship.
Yeah.
But did it kind of freak you out that if she trusts her so much that this might like kill that trust between them?
That Liza has been thinking about her as a target, and now she's taking it down because she realizes how much Diana trusts her, and it's not a small lie.
I mean, she's going to be if Liza feels like this, I feel like she's going to be disappointed because everybody is going to feel like this. She's a likable person. She is a good friend, but you had this secret. So somebody is bound to be disappointed in finding out because you lied. Right. You know? So
and
she's just
Yeah.
Go for it. Because everybody's going to feel this way.
Well, the one thing, too, that I think Kelsey made a good point about was it this episode or last episode? Where she said, you cannot come out because that'll discredit and no one will take millennials seriously. Yeah. And I didn't even think about that, but it's so true because of the whole thing of like, they have to have these people that are going to entrust them and their branding and everything. And then if they find out that there's this 40-year-old taking care of their millennial branding, that could totally discredit from everything. But
yeah, shut down several people's careers.
Right. Yeah. Because it's not just, I mean, I'm thinking, obviously, I'm not saying that just because you're not a millennial, you don't know how how the branding and stuff works. But I feel like those people, because they came out, oh, we're under 30 and we're doing this. Like the way that they've promoted themselves has made it seem that you are in our hands, no one else is.
I did love the conversation about memes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so funny because you get to see like the old school way of thinking about memes versus the new school way. It's like Charles and Liza Charles, Liza, and Diana both were like, oh, keep on trucking, and what is it, like, we see the meats or something like that.
And then they said Kilroy was here, which that was like a propaganda poster or something. Like for Kilroy, like the play.
So like,
is that what memes are now? Propaganda? Is this what's happening to the world?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what they were kind of describing, right? Because keep on trucking is like.
Well, shout out to the Cooler app. You can literally find it on the App Store, Cooler, and they have the best shows. I don't know if they have Younger yet. They have The Bachelorette. They have like Pretty Little Liars, all of them, and you can download it for free and go through it and break up little clips so easily, and then write on them and create your own meme, and it's free.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually super cool.
Did that.
Yeah, me too.
Because after one episode airs, the memes just appear immediately.
Yeah,
and
so
I always wonder where they came from.
if you guys actually want to make a real meme, then you should check out the Cooler app. I'm just saying because I love it.
Want you.
And I've been doing it like crazy for The Bachelorette. I'm not gonna lie. Let's talk about Liza and Kelsey's relationship continuing to be just a terrible thing.
I was so frustrated with Kelsey this episode, only because it's like, Liza still is a good friend. Like, even with Colin coming back and Liza giving her sound advice, it's like she was right in the end, but then she came home and was like mad at herself. I'm like, you should be mad at yourself because Liza already told you this.
Yeah.
You know, she's still a good person.
Right.
I just don't understand.
I think she's just trying to, filter out, okay, so if Liza is still that good person that I knew and loved, what makes her this bad person? Because she's clearly angry, so she's working off of emotion right now. But
my whole thing is like, okay, Liza said this lie, but for Kelsey to be like, you don't really know me, and
I'm like, but you were together all the time.
It's like she does know you.
Yeah,
like, she just told a lie doesn't mean that your whole entire friendship is like discredited.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like something bad or life-changing has to happen for Kelsey to realize, whoa. This girl was actually my friend, and it doesn't matter the age. And like we said that last episode, the line she said, you broke my heart, I think that's what it was, is when we all realized she wasn't just being a mean girl.
Right.
She was hurt.
Yeah.
And she still is.
Yeah. I think what we might see, too, is the way that Liza said, gave her that stuff about Colin, and then the fact that she actually went ahead and left Colin, I think that was one tick of a realization, okay, Liza does have my best interest at heart, and I think the more this season goes on, we're going to see that trust slowly building back, but it's going to be these small things that she's going to finally end up putting together to be like, okay, you are the person I know you to be, but I needed you to prove, she's building her trust back. Yeah. And I think that this was one sign of that, and even though she's not going to acknowledge it, it's going to eventually fester into her trusting her again.
But at the same time, Kelsey is taking away the trust that is given to her.
Yeah, so now they're going to be off balance.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's just how messed up girl relationships happen.
I know.
Well, it is true, too, because the whole Josh thing, which we probably will get into soon.
We'll get into that soon, yeah.
Yeah, but with that whole thing, I think that is, I think it's secretly kind of, it's devious in a way because she did know how much they cared about each other, but I think because Kelsey's having, like, she's going through so much, and like it's like the world's against her. Everything that happens, and that's how I think she's feeling right now.
That's
is
true.
That there's nothing going her way. So I think the only thing that's giving her comfort right now, because it's not like she has her family out there. She doesn't feel like she can go to Lauren's house anymore, which they were her second family. She doesn't have Liza. The only person close enough to give her that sense of feeling like everything's gonna be okay right now is Josh.
That's true.
And so
I think it's because they have this relation to Liza.
Liza.
We'll get into Liza. Yeah. We'll get into them in a minute. I just also want to give a shout out to a doppelbanger.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's so funny because when you think about it, all of the men that we've seen Kelsey with,
so true.
They do look alike.
I like blondes too. I have a thing. I like guys that look like that as well. And this Colin dude, you want to think, oh, he's come back, he's apologized, and I don't know if I'm speaking for myself, but stuff like that has happened to me before, and it's the worst when you give it another chance. And then he goes up to Charles at that party.
Oh my God, he's such an opportunist.
That was so annoying.
Such an opportunist.
And it was like, he didn't even try to nonchalantly slide in there and be like, oh, you know, what about this? You know, and tell Kelsey first. And then let her even pitch your new book. But the fact that he just slid right in and was just like, hey, how are you? Like acting like they're good old buddies and just like standing totally in front of Kelsey just shows how much of a terrible person he was.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it was really bad. Wait, side note, did you guys notice he kind of had an accent? It was like a country accent. Maybe I was picking. I was like, where did that come from?
I know we were trying to pick up on the country accents with Liza or Josh and Kelsey, and I'm thinking this is just we really shouldn't have tried this.
Well, okay, go back and watch it when you like have some time. And I swear it sounds like he has a country accent. I was like, wait, is there something I missed from last season?
It could be him trying. I don't think he's gone, and he really does look just like that.
Yeah, so
he's just
much.
so into himself that he literally walked away from Kelsey and
did not even notice.
realize that she wasn't.
That was annoying. I was like, get in that car and go as far away from him as you can.
Crazy.
And you know when that happens to somebody, you're angry, and she's angry at Liza. She's angry at men, so she's gonna go home to Josh because. You know,
He's gonna
kind
make
of
her feel better.
it's kind of a nice place to be.
Yeah, it's comforting.
Yeah, and he's doing all of his like banjo music.
Oh my gosh,
I
he's
could not
so
room
adorable.
there.
I couldn't
don't know if I could.
I'm sorry. He is so cute when he's like dancing with her and everything. Heart melted, game over. Like, you're so cute.
Okay, I wanted to feel it because,
Me too.
like I said last week, strategically, we need Josh on this show. There is no
Definitely.
show without Josh.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character. But with Kelsey, it makes the most sense. I felt as though they were really, really forcing it in those moments, and that's why I cringe. It's not because I don't like them, but
Right.
I want it to happen a little bit more naturally.
Right. I think I do agree with you with the whole grits thing. That was a little too much because but like no one before work makes. I have a full-time job, but I don't wake up and make grits in the morning. I just kind of felt a little like
Rhelin, what was
like.
And like most black families, like you wake up and make grits, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean that is
That
a
is a
thing.
Is it easy to make?
I
feel
don't know.
like it's
I'm
hard.
not really a fan of grits, to be honest.
I don't like. Maybe I'm just.
I'm like a texture person, so you
I
know,
hate it
oatmeal is
too.
like as far as I'll go.
Yeah.
It took me a while to like even like cream of wheat, you know.
I just
But-
thought it was unrealistic. Maybe it's because I don't make breakfast in the morning. So I was like, come on, who's making breakfast before work? But I guess other people.
Let me give you a little side note, Ally. It is unrealistic for two of the whitest people I've ever seen in my life to wake up and make grits. I don't know if Liza's making them crazy. I mean, come on, don't you think?
Oh,
It's a little much. The grits.
I thought that moment was forced because it was just one of those things where I was thinking about what I do in the morning, which is like I literally rush to get ready. And then, I don't know. I'm going off tangent.
Well, we see them bond and they're living together, and then we see that last moment where Liza walks by and she sees their shadows or whatever you want to call it in the window. She hears their voices, and she is just cut deep.
Yeah.
That hurts.
No, I'm so cynical, but I wanted Josh and Kelsey to be able to be seen through the window.
Right.
Like,
no.
I wanted Liza to see them dance together.
I thought the same thing. Like, the blinds would at least be open and they can see them
All
laughing
you
and, like,
hear
coming
was them,
close.
like, laughing, but you couldn't see them. I wanted her to see them, like, dance.
Yeah, now I'm just worried about a flashback in a few episodes and we see him and his chubby roommate just actually, like, dancing around.
Yeah.
It's, like, not actually Kelsey.
Yeah, because we never actually saw it. I mean, how far do you think Kelsey is willing to go for how upset she is? And does she really feel something for Josh?
She's super, like, very emotional and acts very irrational when she's hurt, like, even in past seasons. So, I don't know. Her cool down, it always takes something really serious for her to be like, oh, okay, maybe I should, rethink. I'm overthinking. So, I don't know.
I think she's actually starting to feel for Josh. And I think, I really think so. I think because she's looking at Josh in a different way now that, like, she's realizing we've been friends for so long. How did I not even notice how great you are? And, like, how Liza's such an idiot kind of thing, you know? I think that she's actually falling for for Josh. The only thing that kills me is that Josh is very hurt right now, and we saw that in that interaction that they had on the street. He said, nope, not doing this. He hasn't confronted his feelings yet, and so that's going to come out eventually.
So what do you guys think? Should Liza just completely take, you know, or go AWOL and just like avoid them completely in order for them to heal? Yeah, she should leave.
Maybe move to LA. Yeah. She could do a whole other, you know, spin-off in Los Angeles where she lies to everybody. Liza.
Love that.
On that note, let's get into some predictions, guys.
Sweet.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
predictions. Okay.
Start with you, Rhelin Taylor.
So, because I just saw a little bit of a Montana and Josh having a conversation, I'm definitely thinking that something might go on there. I think that it's obvious that we know Josh and Kelsey should be together, but I think the show's gonna have different love interests for Kelsey and different love interests for Josh, to where we can see who is really right for them. So
it's not, they're not gonna make it that easy.
Yeah,
there's gonna be some sort of struggle or push and pull. I agree.
Exactly. So I'm interested to see who's gonna fall in love.
Yes. I think that in the near future we're gonna see Charles and Liza get together in like different light, because I feel like that is gonna happen like mid-season. You know what I mean? They're not. I feel like we've been all waiting for it to happen, so they're gonna like give us a payoff soon.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Liza gets pregnant at 40 years old.
Oh, gosh.
Charles's baby. No.
Well, that would take a spin for the worst.
Yeah.
Plot twist. Okay, so I'm thinking the way I felt about Josh and Kelsey this episode, the reason it felt so forced to me was because A, it's just not meant to be, or B, like you said, Rhelin, they will leave and come back to each other. And I think that Liza has a lot of kind of feelings to deal with as far as Josh and Kelsey, and she needs to make both of those relationships right. Kelsey first.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking Diana is gonna find out, and I wouldn't be shocked by the end of the season, Charles is gonna find out.
Yeah.
He has to know at some point. So that's what we got this week, guys. We are so excited to talk about next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. One more time, where can everyone find you guys on social media?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Rhelin Taylor.
And you can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta, and on Instagram at Ally Girl.
And you guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at SamD43, Twitter and Instagram. And of course, don't forget to follow Renee Ariel. It's at Renee Ariel.
We miss you.
Yes, pretty sure she will be back soon. We love you all. Comment, rate, review, subscribe. We're so happy to hear from you, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.